It is a good Monday if you are a Boston sports fan. You have the Red Sox coming off a very exciting win on Sunday afternoon. Plus, you have the Boston Celtics advancing to the NBA Finals for the first time since 2010. But we're here to talk some baseball, and we are very, very excited to talk especially Sunday's game, not so much Friday's game, but we're going to jump right into it just in a little bit. Welcome to the Locked On Red Sox podcast. Thank you for making Locked On Red Sox your first listen of every single day. I am your host, NESN's Lauren Campbell. My co-host, Massachusetts Pirates team insider Jake Ignazuski, is spending time with his family he has not seen since Christmas, so he will be back for Wednesday's episode. So today we're going to talk about the games that happened this weekend, the ugly loss on Friday, the doubleheader split on Saturday, which included a complete game, the second for the Red Sox this season in 10 days, this one coming from Eovaldi, and Sunday's home run party. There's a lot to break down. Let's get to it.
You are Locked On Red Sox, your daily Boston Red Sox podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Today's episode is brought to you by BetOnline. BetOnline has you covered this season with more props, odds, and lines than ever before. That's BetOnline, where the game starts. So we're going to start with Sunday's game because it was incredibly exciting. The offense was on fire. There were 5 home runs in the 12-2 win over the Orioles at Fenway Park. And this was a home run party. Bobby Dahlbeck got the party started in the second inning. He homered one high and deep, well over the monster. And Dahlbeck coming into the game had just 3 home runs over the course of the season. And now he has 2 in the last 2 days. Now, this could be a really good sign for Dahlbeck to kind of just get into a little bit of a groove here, start seeing the ball well, keep hitting homers, because the Red Sox are going to need him to continue this little hot stretch that he's been on. Franchy Cordero, 2 batters later, hit a 448-foot missile. That's according to StatCast. And it was a good showing from Franchy. The 448-foot home run. I love to see what he's been doing for the Red Sox lately. He's been really good, and it's incredible to see his turnaround from last year. He was not good. People were wondering where he belonged on this team. He gets his chance when he gets recalled from AAA, and he's just hitting the cover off the ball, and it's been so fun to watch him do this. Rafael Devers, of course, hit a home run in the 3rd inning. Christian Arroyo and Kike Hernandez got in on the fun in the 4th. And it was just a really good offensive showing. And it was good offense all around. It was a great Sunday afternoon at Fenway Park. And we can't forget about Nick Pivetta. He's had 5 straight strong starts now. He turned in 6 innings, gave up 5 hits, 1 run, 3 walks, and 5 strikeouts. And he really struggled at the beginning of the season. It was like the complete opposite of what happened at the beginning of the 2021 season when he started the campaign 5-0. He started off the 2022 season just really slow, a lot of struggles, couldn't really find his groove in the rotation. And then he comes out, he's had 5 really strong starts, a complete game mixed in there as well against the Astros. And he's been really, really good for the Red Sox lately. Overall, it was just a very, very strong showing for the Red Sox. And this stat from MLB.com's Ian Brown. So from April 23rd to the 28th, the Red Sox did not homer in 6 consecutive games, marking their longest drought since 2001. And in that first month of the season, they had just 12 home runs in 22 games. So you can see from that stat alone just how much the turnaround has happened in the last month. May was very good to the Red Sox. We still have 2 days here left in May and 2 games left to play on the calendar here. But you see the turnaround, and you see it happening by way of the offense. The pitching hasn't been the biggest issue this team faced at the beginning of the season. It was the offense. We harped on this offense. It was constant. When is this offense going to click? And it seems like it's finally beginning to click. and they are still 10 games back of the New York Yankees for first place in the AL East, but they're 7-3 in their last 10. Things are turning around. Yes, the bullpen still has their issues. I could do a whole episode about this bullpen, but we're going to focus on the good because the offense has finally started to click. The offense has finally started to look like the threatening offense that it has been, or that it was supposed to be at the beginning of this season. So yes, still far back in the AL East, but there's still time to catch up. The Red Sox are hot right now, and they're starting to build a little bit of ground here between them and the Orioles for last place in the AL East, which the Red Sox do not want to be in. Now, this weekend was not all good. It wasn't all like Sunday. We do have to talk about Friday's meltdown thanks to the bullpen. So at one point in Friday's game, the Red Sox led 6-0, and they ended up blowing the game. The bullpen ended up blowing the game, and they lost 12-8. Oof, not good. The Red Sox were up 8-2 going into the 7th inning, and the Orioles scored 10 unanswered runs in the 3 final innings. The bullpen was bad. This game showed exactly why the Red Sox still need someone trustworthy in there. Garrett Whitlock started this game. He went 6 innings, which is his longest of his career, and it was good to see him go that long to get him stretched out a bit more. He gave up 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts. And this is where things kind of got dicey. You had Jake Diekman go 1 inning. He gave up 2 hits, 3 earned runs, and a walk. John Schreiber, 2/3 of an inning with a hit, 2 earned runs, a walk, and a strikeout. Matt Strahm, 1/3 of an inning pitched, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 strikeout. And Hirokazu Saramura, 1 inning, 2 hits, 1 earned run, and 1 walk. And that allowed the Orioles to come back and win. And you're up 8-2 in the 7th. You're thinking this game, the Red Sox have this game. And this was a very ugly showing out of the bullpen. And this was a game, as exciting as Sunday's game was, Friday's game was a reminder that this bullpen still has a ton of holes, a ton of issues, and not a lot of people you can trust that who come out of it. Now, I don't need to sit here and tell you what I think should be done. We've gone over that, but this is what speaks to what was not done in the offseason when you're not bringing in the reinforcement and the help that they really, really needed in this bullpen. And we knew this last season. We knew this going into this season. And yes, you have Chris Sale, who is slated to come back probably in about a month. Unsure of James Paxton's timeline just yet. As far as I know, he has not resumed throwing from his latest setback. But maybe Chris Sale goes into the bullpen. I don't know. I really don't. I think it's going to be interesting to see, because you can't rely on the offense to put up 12 runs every single game. It's not sustainable. It would be fun as hell, but it's not sustainable. And even when they have a 6-run lead, this bullpen can't hold it. So Saturday, we had a doubleheader. We had a fun, full day of baseball. We are going to talk about that in the second segment of the Locked On Red Sox podcast. Game 1, real good, complete game from Eovaldi. A lot of fun to watch. Game 2, not so much fun to watch, but we do have to talk about Josh Winckowski's MLB debut and everything in between. But first, I want to tell you about Athletic Greens and AG1. Our next partner has a product I use literally every day. I started taking AG1 because, simply put, I wanted more energy in the mornings. Who doesn't want more energy? It's a good way to start my day. I just wake up and I take them first thing in the morning. And I've been on it for a few weeks now, and I absolutely love it. It doesn't taste like it's super healthy, but it has kind of a mild tropical taste that I actually look forward to taking in the morning. I'm a big tropical kind of juice kind of person, and this kind of fills that void when I don't have juice in my fridge. So what exactly is this stuff? With 1 delicious scoop of AG1, you are absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food-sourced superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens to help you start your day right. This special blend of ingredients supports your gut health, your nervous system, your immune system, your energy, recovery, focus, and aging, all of those things. So every day I wake up, before I even drink my coffee, I get my AG1s, I make them just with some water, and then I drink them to start my day. And I just feel completely energized throughout the day, whether I have to go into the office for work, whether I have stuff to do around the house or errands to run. It's the first thing I do right when I wake up and come downstairs. I even have my fiance doing it when he wakes up. So in the morning, we're both taking our AG1s to get our day started right. And AG1 is lifestyle friendly, whether you have a keto diet, paleo, vegan, dairy-free, or gluten-free. It contains less than 1 gram of sugar. There's no GMOs, no chemicals or artificial anything, and it still tastes good. AG1 supports better sleep quality and recovery, supports mental clarity and alertness. It's the one thing with the best things. Athletic Greens uses the best of the best products based on the latest science with constant product alterations and third-party testing. Right now, it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. It's just 1 scoop in a cup of water every single day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/MLB network. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/MLB network to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. Thank you for making Locked On Red Sox your first listen. And for your next listen, check out the Locked On Now podcast. Recaps of MLB games with analysis from our local experts, taking fans through the season like no other network. It's free and available wherever you get your podcasts. So on Saturday, the Red Sox had a doubleheader. So they're playing 5 games against the Orioles in 4 days, with Monday's game being the finale of this series. So game 1, there was a slew of roster moves before first pitch was thrown. You had Josh Winckowski. He was appointed to the Red Sox roster, which was no surprise. Hansel Robles was put on the IL with back spasms. Ryan Brazier and Felipe Valdez were recalled from Worcester. And Hirokazu Saramura was optioned to Worcester. And the game itself was a lot of fun. Game 1. It was a complete game by Nate Eovaldi, the first of his career and the second for the Red Sox in 10 days. Nick Pivetta just threw his on May 18th. Nate Eovaldi threw his on May 28th. And the Red Sox ended up winning 5-3. But the story of this game was Nate Eovaldi. And it feels weird to kind of pick apart what Eovaldi has done in May when he's been good for the most part. He's gone deep into games. He's done everything he can to give the Red Sox a chance to win, but he's giving up a ton of home runs. And a lot of these home runs are coming by way of his slider. And I don't know if batters just have a good read on it, but he has given up a lot of home runs this season, more than he's given up since last year alone. And right now, it's not too much cause for concern, but you want your ace of the staff, the person who's supposed to be your ace of the staff, to not get the Red Sox in any sort of trouble. I think if anyone is excited to put May behind them, it is Eovaldi. At the end of the day, he's had better Mays. His ERA was a little high for the month of May. It was over 6 after another home run was hit in Saturday's game 1. But overall, this complete game was the perfect way for Eovaldi to end a month of May that he's probably excited to put behind him. He gave up 7 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, and 6 strikeouts. And like I mentioned, May hasn't been the best month for Eovaldi. So right-handed batters especially are taking advantage of Eovaldi's slider. And according to the Boston Globe's Alex Spear, 4 home runs have come off the bats of right-handed batters when Eovaldi throws his slider. So the slider, I don't know, like I said, if batters are just expecting it. They are hitting over 700 against this slider that Eovaldi's been throwing, according to Alex Spear. And it's mind-boggling because I don't think he's tipping pitches by any means, but the slider just is not working for Eovaldi. And Red Sox Stats on Twitter put out a stat during his complete game after, I believe it was the 6th or 7th inning. And in May, he pitched 23 2/3 innings, 20 runs, 17 earned runs, 9 home runs with a 6.46 ERA. So again, not the best May for Eovaldi, but it's hard to complain when he throws that complete game, gives the bullpen a much needed rest, especially after Friday's meltdown and especially Saturday's night game just a few hours away. So I was so excited for Eovaldi, especially somebody who has history of Tommy John surgery and elbow injuries alone. It was just really exciting and fun to watch him go out there, go the distance. And even though he gave up some home runs, the offense was there to pick him up, give him the run support that he needed and that he deserved. And he went the distance and, like I said, gave the bullpen a much needed rest. But also in game one, Alex Cora made quite the decision that proved to be the game winner for the Red Sox. It was tied 3-3. Alex Cora decided to pinch hit Bobby Dahlbeck for Franchi Cordero, and Bobby Dahlbeck hits the go-ahead home run that proved to be the game winner. So good decisions all around in game one. Unfortunately, game two did not go as well for the Red Sox. They lost 4-2. Josh Winckowski made his MLB debut, and it could have been much better. He went 3 innings, gave up 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 walks, and 4 strikeouts. It's not the command that we were used to seeing him in Worcester with. He was very, very good with his command in AAA. And after the game, Winckowski said he was really bad. That was a quote from him. He said, kind of really bad, to be honest with you. He said he couldn't get a grip on the ball, and he's looking forward to getting back to AAA and working these things out. It rained just before game two. It was really humid. There were some thunderstorms here in Boston. Maybe it was the humidity. He said he couldn't really find a dry spot on his jersey. Said he wasn't too nervous. It wasn't really the nerves, but getting a grip on the ball is everything. We've seen that with Tanner Houck, just changing his grip, and all of a sudden he can throw wonderful pitches just by changing the grip on one of them. The bullpen in Saturday night's game, Austin Davis, Ryan Brazier, Tyler Danish, Jake Diekman, and Matt Barnes combined for 5 shutout innings. Valdez did give up 1 hit and no runs, but overall the bullpen did its job Saturday, which I think speaks to Nate Eovaldi's complete game in game one. They did get that rest, and that even though that they imploded on Friday, you still have to get them out there at some point. It's all you have to work with are those guys in the bullpen. Christian Vasquez had a really good game at the plate. He went 3 for 4 with an RBI. Kike Hernandez, who is really finding his stride at the plate, went 2 for 5. So overall, just this offense is really clicking. The bullpen will always have its issues. If this is the bullpen they're going to stick with, hopefully not, for the remainder of the season, probably not, there's always going to be issues. But if the pitching can continue, the starting pitching can continue to do what it's been doing, the offense continues to hit home runs, continues to make good contact, hit with runners in scoring position, then this team is going to be much better than it was in the month of April. We've already seen it in the month of May, just how much a month can change. The Red Sox do wrap up their series against the Orioles on Monday night. Hopefully they can win this series and get ready for their next series. It's going to be a grind. Their schedule is a grind for the next, seems like, month. They do welcome the Cincinnati Reds to Fenway Park beginning on Tuesday. So the Reds are not very good this season. They've had a small turnaround of their own, but hopefully the Red Sox can carry the momentum they've had into Tuesday's series against the Reds and start stringing together these quality wins, because this is exactly what has needed to happen. They need to get on this groove. May was very good to them, and hopefully they can end May on a high note and go into a new series, a new month, and do better than they did in May and improve on May's record. And if this offense can continue to improve, that's going to be incredibly scary. Coming up in our third segment of the Locked On Red Sox podcast, as always, we'll end the show on the Mental Health Minute. Thank you for making Locked On Red Sox your first listen of every single day. I really hope everyone enjoyed their weekend, whether you had a long weekend due to Memorial Day or not, whether you're still recovering from the weekend festivities or not, but just a reminder to kind of reflect and understand why we have a long weekend. If you do have one, it's a lot of fun to just kind of relax and de-stress from work and from day-to-day things in life, but do not forget why we are in the position we are to have these kinds of long weekends. I truly hope everyone has been able to kind of de-stress and get excited for a new month of June, new month of baseball, especially if you are a Boston fan. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the show, the Celtics are going to the NBA Finals. Be sure to check out John Corrales on Locked On Celtics. Obviously a very, very exciting time. And hopefully the Red Sox can carry this momentum and carry from Sunday's game into Monday's game and get people excited to end their long weekend on a high note, keep the Boston wins coming and just keep people's spirits high It's always better when people are in a good mood. It's going to be really, really hot today in Boston. So if you are in Boston or the Massachusetts area, stay cool, stay hydrated, make sure your pets are hydrated, and let's get excited for a new week, a new month is upon us, and let's get excited for more Red Sox baseball. Thank you, as always, for making Locked On Red Sox your first listen of every single day. Be sure to rate, review, and subscribe to Locked On Red Sox right here on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. Find us on Twitter at LO_Red Sox, me at Lauren, 3 Laws, Lauren, 4 R's, Jake at Jake Iggy. And be sure to check out all the other amazing shows across the Locked On Network: Locked On Yankees, Locked On Astros, Locked On Reds, Locked On O's. Everyone does an incredible job here. And now that you've made Locked On Red Sox your first listen, head on over to Locked On MLB to make it your second listen. Friend of the pod, friend of mine, Paul Francis Sullivan, please call him Sully, gives you his unique perspective of major leaguers, both past and present. It's free and available wherever you get your podcast. Have a great day. We will be back Tuesday to recap, hopefully, another series win for the Boston Red Sox. Have a great day. Stay cool. Let's go, Red Sox.